6th of June, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos, conversion of Ruth.
I'm sure, I have no doubt.
Yeah, we had really, I mean, all the learning we did came in very handy to participate.
Hashem, that makes me very happy. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. I'm sure it was a different reading of Megillus Rus. And actually, we're still in the middle of it. We want to finish up the Tzitz Eliezer. It's we're finishing up, even though we've passed. In look in Chutzlaritz, they're reading Rus today, also, so we're not so far.
Yeah. Does anybody get the Mishpacha?
And sometimes we get it. I didn't get it for Ruth. Did it add something about Ruth in the
yes, it's got a
holiday edition?
It's got a long article on the Gairus business.
Yeah.
And if I may, I'll just read the last couple of paragraphs. They're just here. Last couple of paragraphs might be of interest. I don't know. Or will I wait till later?
Go ahead.
All right then. Harav Kanievsky suggests a similar approach to what was spoken before. Machlon and Kilion were unsure of the halacha regarding female descendants of Moab, so the conversions were performed conditionally. The Gairus could be valid only if they were indeed permitted to marry into Klal Israel. If not, the two would remain Gentiles, and in that case, there was no actual marriage between them and Machlon and Kilion. It was only on the day that Naomi and Ruth arrived back in Eretz Israel that Boaz, the head of the Sanhedrin, established the halacha that only male converts of Ammon and Moab were prohibited. At that point, it became clear that the initial conversions performed by Machlon and Kilion were valid after all. In his Sefer Moadim Uzamanim, Harav Moshe Sternbuch, Schlitter, devotes a tshuva to this subject and states, based on the Gemara Yevamos, that 48a, that Ruth and Orpah were minors when they converted and married Machlon and Kilion. While the Gairus of a minor is considered valid after reaching adulthood, the child has a right to protest and invalidate the Gairus. While ordinarily there is no Kabbalah mitzvahs required for an individual who underwent a Gairus as a child and does want to remain a Yid, as the absence of a protest against the conversion is in lieu of a Kabbalah. Harav Sternbach suggests that this is only when she is living among a family who is keeping mitzvahs. So if she doesn't do anything, that's she's accepted it. But only if she's in with a family who's keeping mitzvahs. In the case of Ruth and Orpah, since their husbands had died, an actual acceptance was needed. Orpah returned to her homeland and in doing so rejected the Gairus. In her exchange with Naomi, Ruth was Mekabel, the yoke of mitzvahs, proving that her conversion as a minor had been valid.
What's the procedure for this conversion? If they're in Moab, don't they need some kind of some Bezdin or rabbinical recognition? Why can they on their own just convert somebody? Or why can someone convert themselves? Why is that a valid conversion?
I must confess, I didn't read the whole article, haven't had a chance, but if you like, I'll send it out to you. I don't know.
Yeah, I would. I mean, the weakest part of that is the fact that of the conversion, whether they were minors or not minors, where do the brothers have the authority to convert someone? In Moab, where how can that happen?
We did see that the Tzitz Eliezer did speak about a a conversion ayidei, not of Bezdin, but out of commoners. But he didn't go into the details of exactly how authentic that actually is. Yeah, but that is one of the basic questions. Yeah, how the conversion actually took place. All right, in any event,
And also this idea of Boaz making this, he made the Roy, you read that Boaz made this declaration about a woman Moabite before Ruth arrived. Is that correct?
What? No, let's wait a
In other
minute.
words, didn't you read that Boaz had made that before Ruth arrived in Eretz Israel? Didn't you read that Boaz had made a declaration concerning female Moabites? Like he clarified the law prior to Ruth arriving?
I think or on the day that they came, I think it was there. I think they said there something, right?
On the day.
Boaz, the head of the Sanhedrin, established the halacha that only male converts of Ammon and Moab were prohibited. It was only on the day that Naomi and Ruth arrived back at Eretz Israel. It's only then that Boaz said that only male converts were prohibited. At that point, it became clear that the initial conversions performed by Machlon and Kilion were valid after all. That's when they were minors, when Ruth and Orpah were minors.
The fact that they were minors is very interesting to me, because I read in a commentary that they were orphans, that Eglon had been killed by a rival king. I don't know how that affects it, but it was interesting, because you were reading about how the environment of their family affects the conversion process.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, it would seem like they had
that's
no
only-
family. They were orphans.
Yeah, but that reference to family is saying that if that family had converted, and she lived with that, in other words, if two adults converted and they had children, that's what they're referring to. They're not referring to just any family. Is that correct, Roy? Isn't that what you read? In other words, if a child, a minor, is part of a family that converts, so that's the situation we're talking about. We're not talking about a situation where Rus is from a family of non-Jews, right? Is that correct?
Just prior to them marrying, then they were converted. The minors, they married as minors too, I think.
Okay.
Right. In other words, the halacha, the way I understand it, is that if a child is converted, so to speak, along with her family, right? So if she continues to live with the family, and she, as a Jew, she's when she reaches adulthood, she's not required to make a new declaration. She's in, so to speak. Right? Isn't that the situation? It does not apply to Rus, because she didn't come from a family that converted when she was a minor. Okay. He's just saying, the commentary is just saying that she was a minor, but you can't apply the fact that she's a minor to any kind of conversion, because her family was not converted.
I don't know. I'll send you the article.
I mean,
Yeah, I'd like to see it also, please.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll send the article to you, Lou, because I don't have all the the addresses.
All right, I can forward it to everybody.
And you can send it to Rabbi.
That would be great.
You send it to Rabbi Furst too, okay?
Yes, no problem.
All right. All right. It won't be immediately. It'll be in a little while. There's a few pages here, but they're colorful. They're colorful pages. So that's
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, this is not on, it's not online. You're not sending us a link. You're going to actually send us the, oh,
yeah.
okay.
I'll have to scan them.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Well, you might want to look and see, Roy, if it says anything in the on the cover about being able to access the articles online.
Yeah, I don't know.
Indian might have a web page.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, let's.
It comes out, actually, the Megillah should be called Megillus Naomi, not Megillus Rus. The fact that it's called Megillus Rus is another way of hiding everything else that they were hiding. The whole Megillah is hiding all the facts are hidden. The truth, the secrets are hidden in the Megillah. We don't have any clear proof of a lot of questions, and that, because the Megillah wants it that way.
Well, yep, but you got to work on it, my boy. You've got to work on it.
So there's,
Okay,
there's
that's it. That's
secret-
it.
Well, let's finish. We'll finish the Tzitzi Eliezer. We'll see how his approach was developed, and he's approaching it from both the point of view of Rashi and Ibn Ezra. Whether we know there are two different opinions in terms of Rashi's opinion, there was no conversion at the time of their first marriage, and according to Ibn Ezra, there was a conversion according at the time of the first marriage, right? And so we, I think, had gotten far. Did anyone mark down exactly where we left off? I think it might be V'chein doichik sham mi sherotza gam lefarish. I'm not mistaken. Well, maybe.
According to my notes, we left off at where it says Ve'im Cain,
Ve'im Cain.
right where it gets narrow.
Where it gets where?
Where the lines get narrow. Although
That's in
I'm
the
not
middle
sure
of the
where you are,
paragraph?
because it looks like what you've put on the screen is the first page, not the second page. We skipped to the second page.
This is the. I know we're on the second page, exactly where we left off.
But I see my second page looks like this.
One second, I have to see when my screen. Hold on a second. No, that's in terms of something we did on Erev Shabbos for Shavuos. That we're
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay.
We're turning to the Tzitzi Eliezer.
Okay. All right. So according to my pointer on this page, we're at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth paragraph down starts with Bishar.
Bashar, Al Kain Kasev.
Yes, that's where I think we are.
Very good. I would think so too. I would agree with you on that. Very good. Okay, so right there, if you see on your screen the little red ball there, our little red ball, that's where we're gonna pick up now. Fine. Yeah, anyone like to do a little bit reading?
I will yield to Barry if he wants to read, otherwise I'll read.
Go ahead, Lou. I want to follow this.
Ba'asher al Kain kosev b'sefer sharesh Yishai al Megillas Ruth. So what is this word bishar?
Bashar, so as it is now, Al Kain Kasev For this, it was written, the Sefer Shorish Yishai Al Megillas Rus. There's a Sefer, its name is called Shorish Yishai, and it's a commentary on Megillas Rus.
Okay, so as it is, that must be reference to the previous paragraph.
Right, based on what we've been discussing, right?
Okay, and that was talking about,
It'll become evident as we go further. He'll explain it, I think.
okay.
Yeah.
Maharashah,
Alkivitz, that's his name. That was the name of the author.
Alkivitz, Zal, blessed memory. In the pasuk, in the verse, Vayisho lahem. They made them nashim acharei she mevi divrei hatargum.
So on this pasuk, this is a pasuk in the first parak of Ruth, that they took and made themselves wives. They made for themselves wives, right? And he brings the words of the Targum.
V'ha midrash, and the midrash. V'chein me had midrash lekach tov de'isa, and so from the midrash, it gives a good it gives a good thing.
It's became no. This is the medrash. It's called the medrash. The name of the medrash is called the Lekach Tov. The became in the medrash Lekach Tov. That's the name of the medrash. The Isa. It's cited as follows.
I see. Okay, so avios b'dasan hanichom v'lo gairum v'lo heat bailu.
Right. That more. Right. So this is a reference to Rusva Orpa, right? That B'Movos B'Daitum, they Hanichum, they remained Moavim in their beliefs. They remained Moavims in their beliefs. Below Yigairum, they weren't converted, and below Tivon, they didn't go to the mikveh. So they didn't do any formal conversion process.
Okay, so they were made wives, but they didn't convert.
Right.
The Zal. So this is now a quote from the sages.
This is a quote from the I think the Sefer Shar Shishai that was mentioned in the first line.
Okay. Me'ata ein lishmoa the divrei the Rebbe of the Ibn Ezra.
Right.
Okay, so from now we do not understand the words of the Ibn Ezra. Umi shedaresh darcho and who is it that expounds this way? Ki divrei Rabosenu hakedushim emes. Since the words of our rabbis, who are truly holy, v'ha'ed shehavi, the Ibn Ezra, and the witness that brings the Ibn Ezra mipasek hine, from this pasuk, Sheva yiva mischa el ama ve'el Elohim or Elohim. So from the pasuk, what is this Sheva Yiv Masach?
Right, so it says Shabbat, that, I'll tell you where that pasuk is. I think also in the first parak of of Ruth. Let's take a look. Let's just make sure we see that again. That's in Parak. That's in Parak. Yeah, Parak Aleph. That's in Parak. Parak Aleph. Pasuk Tes Vav. If you want to take a look in your Megillah again.
Tes Vav. In what chapter?
Chapter Aleph. First chapter.
Tes Vav is 15. Okay, so it says, she said, behold, your sister-in-law has returned to her people and to her gods. Return after your sister-in-law.
Right.
So that's the pasuk we're discussing. And what is this word, Yiv Masach?
That's, I think, your sister-in-law.
Ah, sister-in-law. El Ama, to her people, Ve'el Elohai, and to her gods. Ein b'divarav mamash. It's not these actual words. Ki kavar kedem ki asach nashuv la'amach. It's not these actual words, because already before she returned to her people. What is this asach?
Kikavar, aim b'divar mamish, kikavar koidem, ki ata nashuv la'amech. Before those words were spoken. That was in which pasuk?
Tetvav.
The key, the other pasuk, that's another. That was another. Right, that's pasuk Yud. Take a look at pasuk Yud.
Yud 10. They said to her, no, we shall return to your people. With you, we shall return to your people. Is that the pasuk?
Right.
Okay, so they already said we're going to return to your people. But then in 14, Orpah leaves. So what's he
Right.
saying?
So it said, Kikubar Koidim, before it was, they already said, Ki itcha nashu b'mech. He with you are going to return to your people. What does it mean? So he's going to explain. Right? They already made it. They already made a statement. They want to go back with Naomi, right?
Right?
So what does it mean that Orpah left?
I see. V'harav kon son leba ama. What is kon son?
Kavanasam, their intention.
Oh, intention. So it was their intention to go to Naomi's people?
That's right.
The Amra Naomi El Ruth, and Naomi said to Ruth, Hine Sheva Yivam Masecha Yivam Masech El Ama. Behold, Sheba, that you will come, Yivam Secha.
That's when Naomi said to Ruth, look, your sister-in-law has returned to our people, right?
Right. And then she says, what? They're Yivam Secha is Yibum?
So that's your sister-in-law.
Oh, your sister-in-law. Oh, okay.
But not her sister?
Naomi calls her sister-in-law.
But
Why
it
she
was, does the commentary say that they were actually also sisters besides being sister-in-laws?
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she says that your sister-in-law has gone to her people,
Right.
the Elohaya, and to her gods.
Right.
Ki im haisan be'os ami. What is haisan?
Ki im haisen ba'os ami, haisen muchrachas nisgaria shama. Meaning, if it's going to be that you're going to come with me, it's incumbent that you convert. I mean, if you're gonna insist on coming, you must convert.
What is this muchrachot? It's required.
Right. It's incumbent upon you to convert.
Not on the spot, I mean, to start the process.
Yeah, most likely, yeah.
So she says, if it will be that you will come with me, it will be required for you to convert. V'ata sheshaba mischa el ama. And now that that your sister-in-law has gone to her people and to her gods, shuv acharei yivamischa, go after your sister-in-law. This is the end quote.
Right,
Ad kan lashon.
correct.
Okay, so what's it saying here? It's saying that she's saying you're going to have to convert, so don't convert and go after your sister-in-law.
Right, it's better you go back with your sister-in-law and don't come with me to convert. That was the essence of what Naomi was telling to Ruth.
But that was actually part of the conversion process, right? Naomi is supposed to discourage her.
Okay, right, correct. That's right.
Umis pala shame al Ibn Ezra.
I think that's Sham, umit Sham al Eben. He's astounded at the Eben Ezra.
It should be.
I'm sorry, what was the first word?
Astounded.
Astounded.
Right. That's a polite way of saying that he completely disagrees, right?
Yeah, he has a very difficult time understanding it, but we're going to see this. He's going to continue on. Hold on.
So the Ibn Ezra is astounded by the fact that Naomi told Ruth to go back to her people.
No, the other way around it. According to the Ibn Ezra, they had converted already. So it's astounding that Naomi is going to suggest that Ruth has to convert, and suggesting that she leave and follow Orpah.
Right. Deicha. What is this word?
That the eich yala al das, the eich, how could he consider, how could he think about such an idea?
How could he consider shitif tur nami bahen shetishuvana lisoran harishon? How could it be that it would occur to Naomi? What is this word tiftur?
I mean, that Naomi should encourage them.
That Naomi should encourage them, teshuvna, that they should return the Soran Harishon to the original Soran. What is Soran?
The Soran is their mistaken ways, like from them Sora or Mora.
So how could it occur to anybody to think that Naomi would encourage them to go bad if they had already converted?
Right.
Umevi sheyesh mi shechashav la'aishav mipnei shelo nisgairu kehugan
properly. It could be that in the truth of the matter that they weren't converted properly.
But Roy brought up the point before that Naomi couldn't say that anyway, because you can't say to an idol worshiper, go back to your idols.
Yeah, that's a separate problem.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that we haven't solved that question yet, Barry. You're right.
Okay, so this sentence here is from Umevi.
Right.
And Umevi, and he brings.
Right. Meaning this is still going back to the Seifish Shorish Yishai, that he's like summarizing his approach to the questions here.
Okay, that there is someone who mechashev is to return.
No, it considers mechashev to consider.
Who considers that she converted. Liai Shav.
No, Yaishiv is to reconcile. He cites a source which to try and reconciles the I believe the opinion of the Ibn Ezra that they were converted somehow.
That they were not converted properly.
Well, he says that could be what we can understand.
What do you mean?
That what the Ibn Ezra means is that there was some type of a conversion that was attempted, but it wasn't a proper conversion. So then, that's an attempt to try and understand the Ibn Ezra's approach.
So when the Ibn Ezra says they were converted, he's referring to an improper conversion.
Right.
But wouldn't he say that? I mean, if he just calls it a conversion, where do we find that we could say, well, he didn't mean that?
Well, okay, hold on. Let's see how he approaches it. Hold on, one give us some time. Hold on.
Okay. Bevid shall Shalasha.
No,
He
is explaining that they weren't Shalom Misgayer again. Number one, they weren't Misgayer properly. Oh, but based in Shel Shalosh, that's based in, but based in Shel Shalosh, right?
or a basin of 3.
So they didn't have a basin of 3. They were Misgayer, but they didn't have an official basin of 3.
Okay, so the word "o" it means like either they didn't have a basin of 3,
Right.
or because Elimelech kavar mace, he was already dead.
But even so, even if he was alive, they're negaya bedever. They can't sit on the bezdin for this conversion.
Most likely, that's also another problem. You're right.
It's another problem. They're negaya bedever,
Right.
so they couldn't sit. So why could he even say that?
Maybe we might be able to get around that. But it's right. It's a difficult shot.
What is this word Vinish Aru?
And they were remaining Shnayim, meaning why they didn't have a basin of 3. Elimelech Kvar Meis, because Elimelech had already been deceased, and there only remained 2. There only remained Machlon and Kilion.
Oh, so they're presuming that the 3 of them would be a based in?
He's intimating to the fact that if Elimelech had been alive, then they could have made a based in of 3. But,
So in other words, he's presuming there's no other Jewish people in the area?
Good
well,
point.
Moab, yeah, in Moab, we probably wouldn't find too many Jewish people, probably not.
But it was a famine. Wouldn't you expect that there would be other families besides Naomi's family that went to Moab? That
Could
there
be,
might have
but
been a small Jewish community there?
if there was, then there wouldn't be a problem like that we're having here. We would have, if they were living Kedas and Kedin, they had a based in, then yeah, could be. But apparently they're not entertaining that possibility.
Okay, so so far we have that the reason that their conversion was improper was because there wasn't a based in.
Right.
V'docha ze b'chazaka b'kasvu ki divarim ke'ele asher takutz nefesh kol ma'ayin bahem. So Vidocha, it pushes off, it supersedes.
He refutes this idea.
Okay, so Chazaka is idea.
No. Chazak is strongly, but Chazaki, he strongly refutes this idea.
In the pasuk,
because things like this, because things like this,
asher takutz, that takutz nefesh. What's takutz?
I haven't really seen this expression. I think it means that a person is repulsed by such things. It's repulsive to it.
A person is repulsed. Kol me'ayin bahen, with all things that look like this.
Yeah, right. It's a phrase, right? It's a phrase which is used apparently that it's if a person strongly he just can't digest these concepts. This approach he can't digest this approach. It's too far-fetched or too irrational to entertain any real thought to.
Right.
Okay, so the things like this that it's repulsed by is the concept that they converted improperly.
Yeah, to suggest that they weren't converted in some way or another is unacceptable.
Okay, and it's unacceptable to the Ibn Ezra.
No,
Oh,
this is in opposition to the Ibn Ezra.
I'm sorry, say that again.
This is in opposition to the Ibn Ezra.
So the Ibn Ezra says that the conversion was no good. And
No. The Ibn Ezra, he says that they did convert. He doesn't go into any details whether it was a good conversion or a proper conversion. He just says that they converted.
so who says the conversion was improper?
There is a attempt to explain that what the Ibn Ezra is trying to teach us is there was a conversion, but it was an improper conversion.
Okay,
But
and we reject that.
That approach is rejected. They're rejecting that approach.
what is the Ebenezer trying to accomplish by making that statement? that the conversion was not good. So what is
No,
all
no,
that?
no, the Ibn Ezra didn't make that statement. The Ibn Ezra made a statement that there was a conversion, right? And the plain meaning of the Ibn Ezra is there was a conversion, there was a good conversion,
Oh,
right?
okay, yes, okay.
But because of the questions that we have on that type of an approach, there are those that want to say that Ibn Ezra is not meaning that they were approached properly, that they were converted in an improper way. But that
So it's not a conversion.
they're saying that you can't accept that, right?
And so that is what is repulsive to the Ibn Ezra, that it was an improper conversion.
No, not to the Ibn Ezra. The Ibn Ezra is beyond this discussion. The Ibn Ezra is one of the main players. He maintains they converted. That's it. They were full-fledged Jews at the time of their marriage. That's the Ibn Ezra. But because there are questions on that, and there are those who want to say and water down the Ibn Ezra and say that no, in fact, there was some kind of a conversion ceremony. Maybe it was really they had a Reform rabbi do the conversion ceremony or something like that, but it really was an invalid ceremony, and so they were somewhat converted, but not really converted. But there are those that say forget about that. That's not shot in the Ibn Ezra. You want to say that shot in Ibn Ezra, you have to go all the way that they in fact were converted properly and according to Jewish law.
So in other words, there are those that say that the conversion was improper,
Right.
and there are others that say that that's a repulsive idea.
Right. No, there are those that say to entertain the thought that what that Ibn Ezra means to say that they were converted, but their conversion was not proper, that they can't stomach that approach. That's unacceptable.
Okay. So the first people who said it was improper, they're making the supposition that the Ibn Ezra held that it was an improper conversion.
That's what they want to say. What you have to say, that's what he meant.
And then the people who respond that that's repulsive are saying, no, it's impossible that the Ibn Ezra would have meant that.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
It's 9:54.
Yeah, I just want to finish this paragraph though. That's another line or two.
Umesayim she'aval anachnu al divrei rabosenu. What is this masayim?
We conclude.
And the conclusion, she'aval, but we, on the words of our rabbis who are holy, what we rely on the words of our rabbis.
Yeah, well, in that concluding remark, which was said, she'aval, however, anachnu al divrei rabosenu kadoshim, we are on the, we have to rely upon the words of our rabbis. I mean, that's talking about the Chazal, right?
Right. Ki heim hadivarehem emes, because they speak truth. Ki ha'anashim ha'eleh, since these people avru toros chelfo chazak. These people what is avru? They speak Torah. what is chelko?
Right, because ha'ela avru toiros chalfo chok ubes haskadhim begoye haaretz. Because these are people who are avru toiros chalfo chok behatchunim begoye haaretz. These they speak words which are not clear to me what he means in this sentence here. Ki anashim ha'elu avru to no. Yeah, right. Right. Chazal, he's saying that we have Chazal because Machlon v'Kilyon, he's referring to Machlon and Kilyon here. That Ki anashim ha'ela, meaning Machlon v'Kilyon, these people, Ki anashim ha'ela, these people, Machlon v'Kilyon, Avru Torahs Chofi Chok Bez Chanunim Ba'aretz. Those people transgressed Torah's Chalfu, they transgressed the Torah of the way of going in what it says about Tachnunim, that to make chasanas with those non-Jews. I mean, they transgressed. The Machlim V'Kilyon transgressed what the Torah says about not marrying non-Jews. Black and white. They simply went against what the Torah says about not marrying non-Jews.
Okay, so we were concluding here that we followed the words of our rabbis because Machlon and Kilyon were sinners.
Right.
Eila hayu mitov hazdaman shenafal chavlam v'goralam b'veinos eglon melech Moav. But they are good. What is this word has daman?
Yeah, right. Ella shaya mutav shaz damein. It should have occurred. Rather, it was better that it occurred. Shenafol chelvam v'goralam b'menois eglon melech Moab. It was good that these transgressors, Machlon and Kilyon, it was good that their lot fell into the situation of them marrying the daughters of Eglon, who was Melech Moab. Meaning a highly undesired shidduch.
It was good that these sinners ended up getting involved with Eglon.
The daughters of Eglon.
But the daughters of Eglon. The Bevenos, his daughters.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so that implies that they were sisters.
Yeah, that's right. All right. I think we'll continue with this tomorrow, Mr. Shem. Trying to make a break here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's
Very
see.
good. Thank you, Roy. Hope to see you tomorrow. Have a good afternoon in the meantime.
All right, thank you. If
All
you-
right, Roy, get busy.
Yeah,
oh,
start scanning, Roy.
Start scanning or write it out by hand, whatever you have to do.
I'm gonna have a cup of coffee.
Roy, there's a very good app called Turbo
Then,
a Turbo Scan, I think it's called. I'm just looking to see what it's called here.
yeah, no, I've got a scanner. It's okay.
You have a scanner?
Yes.
Oh, okay, fine.
All right, then, thank you. All
Good.
right.
Plug it in.
All right. See you all. See you. Some
Okay.
Okay, very good. We're having
You have a good day.
Okay, we'll be continuing in about a few minutes. We're gonna return to Halik Base, okay? In the Mr. Brewer Halik Base, that'll be on Turkish Kohanim. If you remember,
Oh.
we're gonna return to
Okay.
that now.
So should I put hay away?
Yeah, it'll be a while since we'll come back to hay, I think.
Great. Okay.
Very good. Okay, see you in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.